Welcome to the pub quiz, the Tramily pub quiz, and well, I'm excited because this is my first hosting of a quiz, and for those of you that have joined in, for those of you that can't join in, it's going to be posted onto YouTube so you can view it later. But we're going to do this live, and why are we doing it? Well, if you don't know already, I'm Bruce, Melbourne's happiest tram driver, and Melbourne is in COVID lockdown. We've got a curfew after 8 o'clock. We've got people not allowed out, people aren't allowed out for more than an hour a day, only one at a time. And so there's not many people travelling by tram. Very safe to be on a tram, very few people. I'm lonely. I miss you guys. And so I thought, how can we do something to get community back together again? We can join together, have a quiz. I love trivia. You might know that from my time on Think Tank. And you get a lot of people are still watching Think Tank. It's still on at 4:15 in the afternoon after, what's it running now? 2.5 years. But you're probably getting a repeat unless you're new to Think Tank. So we're going to do a quiz with some nice fresh questions and see if we can have some fun without having to have our mask on from the get together, and have a bit of community from the comfort and safety of our own home, and try and get back a little bit of the community that we've been missing through this COVID lockdown here in Melbourne. And if you're coming in and watching this from around the world, welcome. So we're not going to be on a tram. Maybe we could do one on a tram, but not today. This is in front of the fireplace here, and so welcome into my home. This is a lot of technology. If you're going to try this, you need a son like I've got a son. Thank you, Lachlan, doing a great job. We've had a few hiccups. If you watched the original launch on Thursday night, 45 minutes before we went live, huge storm came through Melbourne and knocked out the power, not just for this house, but for 100,000 other houses. And as the rest of the last of the people aren't going to have their power restored until Wednesday, another 5 days from now. And that's pretty painful for them. So we got some people coming in on the other side of the planet, and they're just watching before Trailhead Homestead, before they go to bed. So have a good night's sleep. You must be possibly on the East Coast. It's pretty much morning hours in the East Coast of America. And this is around about midnight on the West Coast. So welcome, and let me just set out some of the rules of this. Now, this is going to be a unique quiz because although we've got about 40 questions, almost 40 questions, some of these I put up as what I'd like to call early bird questions. So there's 3 sections, 6 groups of questions in groups of 3, and at the end of each, the third of the way through, at the end of each 10 questions, we're going to have what I call family, friends and early bird questions. So I'm going to talk about some of the things in my life. If you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, you're going to probably get to understand a little bit about me and the things I like and love and the people in and around my life. So some of these family, friends and early bird questions I'm going to be talking about before we start the quiz, which is now. So if you want to get a pen and paper and note a whole lot of stuff, you're going to get the answers to some of the questions. And so we don't want, this is going to be a fair quiz. You only get 1 point for every question. Fair quiz. Don't want anyone doing Googling. So turn your notebooks, your computers and your phones off now. And a shout out, yes, Trailhead Homestead in Alaska. The Trailhead Homestead is that Susan and Russell? Is that your short? No? Don't know. I think it might be. G'day to Alaska. Who have we got up there? We got John and Jill, Sue and Russell and Eric up there, and a whole lot of other guys around the campfire on Wednesday night. Tuppy and a few of the other guys. It's, gosh, that's a great place to be, and you're coming to the end of summer at the moment. But let's just run a few things. Yes, I'm Melbourne's happiest tram driver, ding ding, and it's great to have some of the Tramily coming, some of the people who travel by tram. If you're on public transport, you're going to be missing, like I am, the community. And so this is what we're trying to bring back together. You might also know that I am a community advocate for Movember. Mustache, Movember, looking to help men live longer. Big emphasis on mental health, because in times like this, when you're a little bit lonely, you can't get a hug, it's not easy to have a beer, a coffee or a cup of tea with your mates, it's easy to get a bit depressed, and you need to stay connected. So this is an opportunity to stay connected. Yes, testicular cancer, prostate cancer, we want to get checked. We know that a lot of people are not getting checked through this COVID time. Don't let COVID be a reason not to go to your doctor. We want to keep people safe, have men live longer. That's what Movember's all about. Grow the Mo to save a bro, raise some money, and we might do some fundraising on this as the quizzes go by. Yeah, it is Sue and Russell. Yes, Trailhead Homestead. I thought I recognised that name. G'day, guys. And Ellen, yes, your child. Not a little one anymore. Also, shout out to Michael Gray Griffiths, because he's a name that you're going to hear a lot about. He's a playwright. I've been in one of his plays. He's just got an interesting offer to get a book published. So Matt Benny, ding ding, how are you, mate? It's good to see you out there doing in lockdown on a Saturday afternoon. How's the little one going? Brand new child in the Benny household. And also happy birthday to Guido Bowie. It's his 60-something birthday today. Happy birthday, Guido. And Soapy, great Carlton supporter, football team. Sue Mitchell says, hope it's get cool in Alaska. Yes, the snow's coming, I hear. You've got snow coming in about 4 weeks. My mate Soapy, he's not his real name, but he got that because he's a Carlton football supporter, and one of the great heroes of days gone by was Soapy Valance, and that's Soapy's nickname. Big cheerio to you. And of course, if you're in Seattle and you want sewing lessons, Ryla Spot. I'm not getting paid for this, by the way. This is just stuff. And there might be some answers to questions, as I've said, in all of this. Ryla Spot in Tacoma there, Sewing and Design School. G'day, Rylas. Tommy Transit, big cheerio out there on Galliano Island, newlywed to the lovely Michelle, doing some great work there, trying to keep bus drivers enthusiastic and in good physical and mental health through a very taxing time in bus driving right around the world. Good on you, Tommy, great work. And Patrick Coomer shifting house today in Portland, Oregon. It's a big job shifting house, but he's shifting out of an apartment into a lovely house. He sent me some pictures. G'day, Patrick. And Manuel, young fella from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Hello to you. In lockdown, he's missing his family over there in Brazil. He's here in Melbourne through the lockdown, and boy, is he ever bored. 1 hour outside of the house per day. Yeah, it's not easy, that is for sure. We've got one of my great mentors, Lenny Bates, tram driver, and to Randy Wall over there in Portland, looking after Engine 700, building that, and to Think Tank mates, Matt Garrick, and a cheerio to Carolyn. KJ, fell off a ladder, get better mate. And to Teresa Fisher, tram fan, how are you? And Ian Holman down there in Graham. So I hope you got some notes, remember some of that, because there's going to be some questions all about that. So we're going to start the quiz and get this show on the road, because it's all about the questions. And the good thing, of course, is that today we don't have to use the candles. We had to use them the other night. Now there is a special, every now and again we're going to have a special item which you can guess, and we can ask for the answer for that right at the end. So you've got the whole quiz to come up with it. And I'm going to show you this. What is this? Some of you will know straight away. It comes under, it's two names, I'll accept either name. So I'll leave this up here. You can have a look at it over my shoulder, and that's the mystery item. If you're a young person, ask your grandparents. So here we go. We're going to start the quiz. The first section of 6, 1 point per question. We're going to go through 10 questions and the family friends questions, and then we'll go back and do the answers. So we'll be doing this 3 times to get to the end. What was Ned Kelly's mother's name? If you're from overseas, you may not be familiar with Ned Kelly, but he's like the Jesse James brothers. It was known as the Kelly Gang, because there was more than one of brothers. Ned was the leader. Jesse James Gang in America. So remember, no Googling. You've turned your computers, your notebooks and your phones off, so you're not going to be cheating like that. There we go. Question number 2. If you are standing on the banks of the Potomac River, what city, what great city are you looking at? The Potomac River. Gosh, I had a great time cycling around there. Fantastic. Worldwide epidemic a long time ago, the Great Depression. On what date? Question number 3. On what date did the Great Depression begin? I remember it well. Just a little tacker. Another geographical question. Here we go. If you are in the Prado Museum, what city are you in? The Prado Museum. Awesome museum. Long time since I've been there, but a great museum. Question number 5. In what country is the world's largest swimming pool? In what country is the world's largest swimming pool? The world's largest Olympic swimming pool? No. I think Australia is the only country that's had problems with the world's largest swimming pool. We had problems with it being a little bit too long, but they fixed it before the Olympic Games. How are you going there? 5 questions down. Okay. Part 2. What capital city is commonly known as the Paris of the East? Paris of the East. Which capital city? And if you're as old as me, you're going to need to go to some younger heads for this question, I'm sure, because... go John. Yes, we've had some emails today. Good to have a message from you here, watching the quiz. Glad you don't have to be out there shoveling snow. It was great watching the Northern Lights from your veranda, and Russ and Sue's veranda as well while we're up there in Alaska. Who is the rapper husband of Kim Kardashian? The young person's question. What is Kim Kardashian? That's a question for me. Question number 3 here, second part. Who is the famous person from the Deal or No Deal TV show, Deal or No Deal? Who is the famous Deal or No Deal suitcase holder? Could say she's climbed a ladder. Were they wearing suits, I wonder, in wearing for what they were wearing in Deal or No Deal? I'm not sure. Question number 4. On what tram route did the last horse-drawn tram run in Melbourne? Great question for me. I hope you're getting it as well. And last question in this section. Which fastener was invented first? Velcro or the zip? Velcro or the zip? Now, the Early Birds family and friends question number 1 is in Portland, Oregon is a historic engine shed which is very ably managed by Randy Wall and his team, and they are restoring an engine which is known by what number? What number? Now I'll make this a little bit easier for you if you're trying to guess. It is a number in the hundreds and it's an even 100, so you've got a chance, you've got a 1 in 10 chance. Is that right? Yes, 1 in 10 chance of getting that answer right. And if you're a Big Brother fan, which I'm not, but I've had to recently because one of my good mates has been on it, who is the think tanker? Yes, that amazing quiz show that's been running for 2.5 years. Who is the tanker who is an expert on sports general questions on Think Tank? He lives on a hill, but he tells me he didn't break it. I'm told, on good authority. All right. So there's our first 12 questions. So let's go back and do some answers. Question 1, Ned Kelly's mother's name, Ellen McCluskey, from Ireland, of course, with a name like she married a Kelly. Ellen McCluskey. I hope many of you got that right. Anyway, if you didn't, this is true all the things about trivia. You store it away, you never know when you're going to use it again. Probably never. But question 2, what city are you looking at from the banks of the Potomac River? Washington, D.C. What an amazing city. The greatest propaganda tool in America. Awesome city. Spent a lot of time riding a bicycle along the banks of the Potomac. If you're in the Prado Museum, what city are you in? You are in Madrid, Spain. How are we going? What was the date of the start of the Great Depression? The 29th of October, 1929. 29, 10, 29, or if you're American, 10, 29, 29. It's a bit rhythmic. It's easy to remember from that point of view. In what country is the world's largest swimming pool? I don't think anyone guesses this. I actually pinched this one off Think Tank. Am I allowed to say that? This is Chile is the answer. It is the size of 16 football fields. And if you have a look, if you Google it, it's right on the beach. So it goes forever and ever. You can hardly see the other side of it. Right along the beach, so you've got the beach on the ocean, and then the swimming pool's got a glass edge that goes all the way along. Why wouldn't you just run and jump into the ocean, the Pacific Ocean? Unbelievable. Anyway, that's what they do. San Alfonso del Mar. Cost $2 billion and they built it in 2000. $2 billion for a swimming pool. Gosh. Moving on. What city is known as the Paris of the East? I'll tell you, Beirut. Copped a hiding in the 70s, but that's what it was known as. What a beautiful city it was, surrounded on a peninsula by the ocean, by the Mediterranean on 3 sides. Beautiful city. It was a bit beaten up when I was there. Who is the rapper husband of Kim Kardashian? Kanye West. That's it, whoever he is. I don't know, he's a rapper, some sort of music that is. Kanye West. Who is the famous Deal or No Deal suitcase holding person? This was in the US, Deal or No Deal. And Meghan Markle. I didn't know that. It was, but anyway, everyone does now. And the one that everyone's hanging on the edge of their seats for, which is on what route was the last horse-drawn tram in Melbourne? Melbourne Zoo. 1923, November, December was the last time it ran. Sadly, it was burnt down. None of the horses were hurt, but yeah, 1923 in Melbourne Zoo, to the Melbourne Zoo. Fantastic. Which fastener was invented first, the zipper or the Velcro? The zipper. Way back in 1926. Velcro is a very modern invention in the late 20th century. Family and friends questions. What big engine is being restored in Portland by Randy Wohl and the team? Engine 700. What an awesome engine it is. 880 tonnes. It's enormous. We've got an engine here in Melbourne called Heavy Harry. It's the biggest engine in Australia. 440 tonnes. This thing is twice the size. Can't wait to get a ride on it. And who is the think tanker from Broken Hill who was recently on the Australian Big Brother? Matt Garrick. G'day, Matt. Love that smile. And great. Hope you're having a great time up there in Broken Hill. You've apologised for not being able to be on watching this afternoon because you're down the hole, in the mine. There we go. That's our first page. So I hope you did well. Roll up your scores, 1 point per question. And we get into the middle section, part 2. After the American Civil War, General Robert E. Lee's family home was taken from him. And what is it used for today? What purpose has General Robert E. Lee's family farm been used for in this day and age? Question 2. Boeing had to build jumbo jets in a new factory. And for the first year of construction, what did all the workers do without? For the first year of building jumbo jets, what did the assembly team for Boeing workers, what did they do without? Was it lunch tables? Toilets? What was it? Question 3. Pilgrim's Progress, the book. Where were the pilgrims going? Where were the pilgrims going in John Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress? Question 4. Motorcycles. What is the unique valve control mechanism used exclusively by Ducati motorcycles? Some of you will say that's not a question, everyone knows that. Well, that's good, you get 1 point. Question 5. Which major city is known as the Granite City? Okay, the Granite City. Keeping up. What is the more common name of sodium chloride? Chemistry question. For those of you that don't know the question, put on your thinking cap. What is the more common name of sodium chloride? On a chemistry theme as well, who is the only woman in the world to have won 2 Nobel Prizes? 2 Nobel Prizes, the only woman in the world. What's her name? And on a female theme, what is the only Academy Award winning movie that has no female speaking lines? Not a female utters a word in this amazing Academy Award winning movie. automotive. Henry Ford once said of his brand new T-model Ford back there in the early 20th century, you can have it in any colour you want, so long as it's what colour? What's the colour that Henry Ford said you could have his car in? Any colour you want, so long as it's what? Interesting character, Henry Ford. So interesting, so comical on some sides and so brutal on the others. Final question in this section before we get into the family friends. The Bismarck is widely known as being the largest battleship that ever floated up until World War II. But it wasn't. What was the name of the ship that was in fact the largest ship afloat through World War II, or through part of World War II? How are we going? Okay, family and friends question. By what nickname is my Carlton supporting American national friend Robert the Valiant more commonly known as? What's his nickname? So you've got to come in early to get the answer to these questions. Question 1. Second family and friends and early bird question. Who is my tram driving hero that worked for 56 years at Kew Depot? Who was my hero that worked for 56 years on the job as a tram driver conductor at Kew Depot? Cultural difference, yes, there we go. Kim Kardashian's a Mongolian. Very funny, Matt Benny. Could be, I don't know. There we go. All right, so we're going to run through the answers to this. Section 2, from the top. Robert E. Lee's property, confiscated from him after the American Civil War, is now used as Arlington Cemetery. What a wonderful place to visit. Sad, but a wonderful place. Boeing built the jumbo jet. They had to build a new shed. What did the workers have to do without for the first 12 months building the jumbo jets? I'll tell you what it was. It was a roof. Seattle. Everett Airport, snow, sun, rain. They built the jumbo jets out there in all weather for 12 months, and they were known as the Incredibles. No one could believe that they could do it in such conditions, and they did it. Pilgrim's Progress, where were they going? They were going to Thomas Beckett's, they were going on a mission to his grave. Thomas Becket, his tomb. And which major city in the world is known as the Granite City? Okay, Aberdeen. Okay, Aberdeen. Moving along, chemistry, more common name for sodium chloride, table salt. Common old table salt. And which woman twice won the Nobel Prize? Marie Curie. 1903, she won it for physics, and 1911 for chemistry. One clever woman. Name the Academy Award film that never had a woman speaking line in it. If you know me, you know Soapy, you'll know Lawrence of Arabia. It's true, check it out. 222 minutes of the most marvellous movie ever made. And there's a sequel coming out soon. Henry Ford said you could have his T-model Ford in any colour you want. The colour was black. Any colour you want but black. But it had to be black. That's what it was. Millions of them made, millions. The biggest battleship up into and during World War II, not the Bismarck, no, the Japanese Yamamoto. The Bismarck was just over 40,000 tonnes. The Yamamoto was 65,000 tonnes, half as big again as the Bismarck. The Bismarck floated for just over 78 days in duty. The Yamamoto lasted for 4 years before it was sunk. Huge ship. Now, family and friends questions. Robert, Soapy, yes, valid. Soapy is the word we're looking for. That's his nickname. And who was my hero tram driver, 56 years at Kew? Lenny Bates. God bless you, Lenny. Hope you did well in that section. Now we're on the final rundown. Hope you're scoring well. So, music question. We're mixing it up a bit. What time is 0 hour for Elton John? Which song of Elton John is 0 hour? Question 2. 0 hour, what time? Noon? Where is the book of Anne of Green Gables set? Where is Anne of Green Gables' story told? Where is it set? Automotive. The winner of Daytona 500 car race. What does the winner celebrate with? Does he pop champagne, Coke, Pepsi? What's he drink? The winner of the Daytona 500. If Matt Garrick's watching this, you'll know the answer to this, mate. And quite a few of you on stateside will know this as well. All you petrol heads, get onto this one. Another music question. Whose ferry crossed the Mersey River? Whose ferry crossed the Mersey River? What was the name of the group? And the fifth question in the final part here. Where did Neil Armstrong set his foot on the moon? Where did Neil Armstrong set his foot on the moon? Okay, and our last section here. By what name were Jaguar cars known before World War II? All you petrol heads, what were Jaguar cars called before World War II? And for those of you who are loving stage and screen, what musical is based on Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet? The musical. Could be a bit of dance in there too. You theatre goers. What is the Morse code for S? The letter S. How do you represent that in Morse code? All you key-clicking amateur radio operators out there. The letter S in Morse code. Second last of the main questions. The Indian Taj Mahal sent the builder broke. But what is it a symbol of? What is the Taj Mahal internationally known as a symbol of? That should get the tongues wagging. What does he mean? It's a symbol of what? The Taj Mahal. Final question in the straight up questions. Name the intrepid explorer who discovered the source of the Nile. Name the intrepid explorer who found and wrote a book about discovering the source of the Nile. Quite a journey, quite a man. If you have a look at my Instagram, you'll see his tomb. Now, the final three questions. These are family and friends questions. By what other name can you search for me on the internet? What is the tagline by which you can search me on Google across the internet? And the second question, family and friends, for which organisation am I a community ambassador? to keep men alive a bit longer. And the last question. Name the greatest Australian playwright of the 21st century. I'll give you a clue. He used to be a tram driver. Amazing guy. All right, how are we going there? Oh, Michelle. Thank you. From America. Gosh, it's late for you, Michelle. You'll be missing out on a lot of sleep with the hours you keep. I think it's well into the morning, wee small hours over there. So you make sure you're having a great night's sleep. But thank you very much for the message. Appreciate that. We'll see you on Facebook. Okay, answers. What time is 0 hour for Elton John? No, it's not noon. No, it's 9 a.m. 0 hour, 9 a.m. Where is the book Anne of Green Gables set? Prince Edward Island. Prince Edward Island, right up there in Canada. Ah, Manuel, how are you, mate? Obrigado. Bom dia. He hasn't logged in. He's guessing I'm having a good game. He sent a text. Anyway, welcome. I know you're stir crazy, mate. What does the winner of Daytona 500 race toast with? The Daytona, this really shook me when I heard it. Milk. Milk, buttermilk, milk. Milk. Shit. Not champagne. Gosh. Anyway, it sends a good message anyway. Whose ferry crossed the Mersey? Jerry Marsden, Jerry and the Pacemakers. Ah, what a great song. What a great group, Jerry and the Pacemakers, from my youth. And where did Neil Armstrong set his foot on the moon? Very calmly into the Sea of Tranquility. Sea of Tranquility. Ah, Michelle, yes. You have a good night too. Thank you very much. My son's doing a great job posting all these messages up here. It's very high tech. Without a son like this, I couldn't do it by myself, I can assure you. By what name were Jaguar cars known before World War II? They were known as SS cars. Yes, the guys bought the SS Car Limited Company, but World War II, a guy in Germany hijacked the name of SS, and so in a marketing good move, they decided to change the name of the car to Jaguar. Smart move, guys. What musical is based on Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet? West Side Story. What's the Morse code interpretation? What's the Morse code for the letter S? Dit, dit, dit. 3 dots. Dot, 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 SOS, dot, 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 dash, 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 dit, dit, dit. SOS, save our souls. How'd you go with that one? The Indian Taj Mahal that sent the husband broke. He built the tomb for his wife. It is the international symbol of love, known as love. That's right. He didn't have enough money. He was going to build one out of black marble for himself. No money. Spent it all on his missus. What a symbol of love that is. Sent him broke. And name the intrepid explorer whose tomb is on my page there. It's Sir Richard Burton. No, not the one that married Elizabeth Taylor. This is back in the 19th century, Sir Richard Burton. The first Sir Richard Burton, the intrepid explorer, not the intrepid explorer of film. Same name, different character. So last 3 questions in family and friends. If you were here right from the start, how can you search for me? Melbourne's happiest tram driver. That's the answer. Melbourne's happiest tram driver. Put in that, you'll find me anywhere in the world. I even heard that in China, you can search for it in Chinese and you find me. What are they doing? Haven't they got something better to do? Unbelievable. For which organisation am I a community ambassador? Movember, the mustache. Men live longer. Help them live longer. Get them to get their prostate checked, get their testicles checked for testicular cancer. Stay connected. Avoid depression. If you're not feeling well, check it out. Speak to someone. There's plenty of lines. Beyond Blue, that sort of stuff. Be safe. And name Australia's greatest playwright of the 21st century. Michael Gray Griffiths. You're going to hear a lot about him. That is for sure. Michael Gray Griffiths. Check him out. You can also find his comedy sketches under Grizzlements. 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 He's a scream. Check this guy out. It's amazing. Well, I don't know about you, but that's about an hour and a little bit more of thanks, Manuel. You're the best Brazilian reporter we've got here in Melbourne, but we've got you on a short rope. You're only allowed out for an hour a day. So we've got to do more online. So stay connected, everyone. Thank you very much for attending. It's going to be posted on YouTube. I've had a fun time speaking for an hour. I'd love to have a bit of a chat, so you probably would, but this is probably, my mouth's going dry. I'm at the end of my lead. So thank you very much for joining in. Don't forget, if you like this, tell your friends. We might even do it again. Click the link and like it, subscribe, and put lots of comments up there so I can look at changing this if we need to. This is the first one up, so we can change it. We can do anything we want. We'll do this together, and there'll be more quizzes to come. So thank you for being a part of this. I've had a lot of fun. I hope you have too. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Ding, ding.